You know, planet Earth has always been a dangerous place, so it's no surprise that rivers were no exception. While water fuels all life on this planet, many different kinds of lethal predators lurk in bodies of fresh water. And throughout natural history, reptiles, fish, amphibians, dinosaurs, and even mammals could have been labeled as river monsters. And oh boy, do they like to wear that title like a Vietnam vet with a Purple Heart. But there is one place in prehistory that even an experienced angler may find intimidating: the Kem Kem Beds of mid-Cretaceous Morocco. This was a river delta that's often referred to as the River of Giants, not just because it's home to some of the largest African dinosaurs, but was home to many different kinds of large river beasties. Now, freshwater may not be as scary as the open ocean, but imagine swimming in murky river water only to get snatched by something you never saw coming. And our shock and awe starts right here. Gliding over the riverbeds of this region were Onchopristis numidens, a kind of saw skate related to modern sawfish. They can grow anywhere from 7 to 13 feet long depending on what estimates you look at, and can weigh anywhere from 154 to 330 pounds. They also have what's essentially a nose with teeth called a rostrum that can be just under 5 feet long. This fish has a giant saw blade for a nose, and if you think that's somehow safe to swim around, that's because you haven't seen how they hunt. Modern-day saw skates are explosively fast when killing their prey, and they do so by swinging their heads from side to side. Not only do they swing their rostrums at a lightning speed, they're rather clumsy when they do it, and they can accidentally strike a diver or swimmer that gets too close. And considering Onchopristis was larger than most living sawfish, and had a rostrum with teeth that can be 2.8 inches long, they could arguably be more lethal than their modern cousins. But thankfully, only 21 people have ever been killed by sawfish as of 2024, so death by a living rip-cut saw is pretty low. The chances may be low, but the chances of being attacked are never zero. Just like with our next river monster. This skull belongs to a gigantic fish called Mawsonia. These giant cousins of the coelacanth are some of the largest freshwater fish in the Mesozoic, as they can grow anywhere from 11 to 20 feet long. That size is already intimidating for something in a river, but of course, they're also ridiculously powerful fish. Some researchers believe that Mawsonia caught its food using suction feeding, which, yes, is exactly what it sounds like. To give you an idea of how dangerous this feeding method could be, the modern-day Arapaima utilizes this method and has been known to confuse feet for fish only to violently pull people underwater. Keep in mind, Arapaima can grow up to be half the size of the giant coelacanth. Now, it's likely that an adult human would be safe when swimming with a Mawsonia, but if you panic one, it could probably knock you out and drown you trying to get away. But while the fish we've covered so far have been more or less harmless, the next one can actually bite back. Eitan was a large predatory fish that was apparently named after a dragon in Kazakh folklore. This fish is also in the same order as the North American Xiphactinus. Yes, that Xiphactinus. I couldn't find exact size estimates, but based on size comparison images, I'll tentatively say that they're over 3 feet long. Eitan also had sharp, conical teeth that, to me at least, resembled those of the modern-day Payara. These fish have long, protruding fangs that can grow so long that they often pierce through the top of their skulls. Needless to say, it would be very painful if either a Payara or an Eitan saw your hand as a tender fillet of fish. And next is another fish that can leave you with a pretty nasty bite. This big guy is Bawitius. They were a wild one for sure, as they were part of a rather unusual family of fish called bishiers. They're probably most recognizable by a series of finlets along their backs that can number between 7 and 17. They're also one of the few fish that can breathe air, as they have specialized organs that allow them to survive in low oxygenated water by taking air from the surface. In the modern day, you'd be lucky to see a bishier that was any bigger than 39 inches, but in the Kem Kem Beds, Bawitius could grow well over 9 feet long. They also had a surprisingly dangerous set of teeth to back up their size. Now, modern bishiers have teeth too, but they mainly feed on crustaceans and small vertebrates. Then again, these modern relatives are a lot smaller than their Kem Kem cousin. We don't know what Bawitius hunted, but it's likely that an adult human would be perfectly fine swimming around them. A child, however... Well, let's just say if they were around today, Bawitius would be an aquatic Amber Alert. But if I were to travel back in time, I wouldn't be looking for giant sawfish, giant bishiers, or even the infamous Spinosaurus. No, I'd be on the lookout for something even rarer. Swimming in the rivers of the Kem Kem Beds was a rare species of plesiosaur. Tentatively referred to as a leptoclydid, the Kem Kem plesiosaur is only known from teeth that came from adults and a partial arm bone from a juvenile. Not a whole lot, at least not enough to name a new species, but this discovery tells us quite a lot about the animals themselves. In addition to being one of the youngest representatives of Leptoclydidae, these also represent the first fully freshwater marine reptile. Their fossils may be few in number, but the plesiosaur's remains were scattered all over the Kem Kem Beds, showing that they were widespread and successful in this region. But how did they do this? How could they survive in these murky river waters? Well, an answer could lie in a marine mammal that followed a very similar path, the Amazon river dolphin. As their name suggests, this species of toothed cetacean lives in river systems in South America, where the water can get pretty dark and cloudy. The dolphins are also virtually blind to begin with, but to compensate, they sense their world around them via echolocation. It's like a natural sonar system that many animals utilize to locate and track prey, and it's most commonly seen in whales and bats. Did the freshwater plesiosaur hunt in the same way as these river dolphins? Well, there's no evidence that marine reptiles used echolocation, but that doesn't mean they didn't have other amazing senses. Plesiosaurs had a directional sense of smell, with 2 chambers in their nose working the same way as a pair of ears that pinpoint exactly where a smell is coming from. It's an excellent tracking device that allows this Moroccan plesiosaur to be the most unique and successful river monster in the Kem Kem Beds. But that is the end of the line for this video. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment on this video, as it lets YouTube know that people like this content and want to see more. Yet another video that was an awesome experience to make, and the timing is actually pretty good. It's getting warmer, and we're nearing the time of the year where people are going to start going to lakes. So why not give them something to be nervous about while they go tubing? Even if these animals were native to Africa and are extinct. Well, that's it for now. See you around.